A young man was so beautiful that every person who saw him fell instantly in love, but he had a heart of ice. He rejected everyone who dared to care for him. He spent his days hunting in the deep woods, ignoring the pleas of those who adored him. He believed no one was worthy of his gaze. He was perfectly, dangerously alone. But what if I told you his beauty was actually a death sentence? A curse placed upon him before he was even born, waiting for the moment he finally saw his own face? Here's the story the world remembers. Narcissus was the son of a river god and a nymph. From birth, his physical perfection was so striking, it seemed almost divine to those around him. His mother, Liriope, was worried about his future. She consulted a famous blind prophet named Tiresias. She asked if her son would live a long life into old age. Tiresias gave a chilling, cryptic answer. He said Narcissus would live a long life, provided that he never came to know himself. At the time, no one understood what that meant. As Narcissus grew into a teenager, his beauty only intensified. Men and women alike were captivated by him. They followed him, begged for his attention, and offered him their hearts. Narcissus felt nothing but contempt for them. He was arrogant and cold. To him, their love was a nuisance. He mocked their feelings and pushed them away with cruel, biting words. Among those who loved him was a mountain nymph named Echo. Echo had her own tragic history. She had been cursed by the goddess Hera for talking too much during a deception. Hera took away Echo's ability to speak her own thoughts. She could only repeat the last few words spoken to her by others. She was a literal echo of everyone else. One day, Echo saw Narcissus hunting in the woods. She was instantly transfixed. She followed him silently through the trees, hiding behind the shadows, waiting for a chance to connect. Narcissus sensed someone was following him. He called out, "Is anyone here?" Echo, unable to say anything else, immediately shouted back the last word. "Here, here, here." Confused, Narcissus looked around but saw no one. "Come to me," he commanded. Echo stepped out from the trees, her arms open wide, repeating his words back to him, "To me." When she tried to embrace him, Narcissus recoiled in disgust. "I would rather die than let you touch me," he shouted. Heartbroken, Echo repeated his rejection. "Touch me, touch me." Narcissus turned and ran away, leaving Echo shattered. She retreated into dark caves and lonely mountain crags. She wasted away from grief until only her voice remained in the wind. The gods saw Narcissus' cruelty and decided he had gone too far. It wasn't just Echo. He had broken dozens of hearts without a shred of remorse or human empathy. One of his rejected suitors prayed to the goddess Nemesis, the deity of divine retribution. They asked that Narcissus feel the same unrequited love he had inflicted on so many others. Nemesis heard the prayer and agreed. She led Narcissus to a hidden pool deep in the forest. The water was silver, still as a mirror, and had never been disturbed by animals. Narcissus was tired and thirsty from the heat of the hunt. He knelt by the water's edge to take a drink. As he leaned down, he saw something he had never seen. He saw a face of breathtaking beauty, eyes like stars, hair like Apollo's, and skin like ivory. He didn't realize he was looking at his own reflection in the still water. He was instantly captivated. For the first time in his life, Narcissus felt the sting of love. He reached out to touch the beautiful stranger, but the water rippled and disappeared. He waited for the water to settle. The face returned. He tried to kiss the image, but his lips only met the cold surface of the pool. He was hopelessly, desperately in love. He stayed by the pool for hours, then days. He forgot to eat. He forgot to drink. He forgot his friends and his life. He couldn't look away from the reflection. He began to talk to the image. "Why do you flee from me?" he cried. The reflection's lips moved, but no sound came out. Echo, watching from the trees, repeated, "From me." Narcissus realized the person he loved would never love him back in the way he needed. Every time he tried to touch the beauty, it vanished. It was an unreachable ghost. He began to waste away. His strength faded. His skin grew pale. The beauty that had captivated the world was rotting from the inside out because of a love that was hollow. He finally understood the prophet's warning. He had come to know himself. He realized the face in the water was his own. He was the object of his own fatal desire. "Woe is me," Narcissus groaned as he felt his life slipping away. From the shadows, the voice of the fading nymph Echo whispered back one last time, "Woe is me." Narcissus took his final breath and died by the side of the pool. Even as his soul was being ferried across the river Styx, he leaned over the boat to look. He wanted one last glimpse of his own face in the dark waters of the underworld. Even in death, his obsession remained unbroken. He was a prisoner of his own image. When his friends came to find his body to give him a proper burial, the corpse was gone. In its place grew a new kind of flower with white petals. The flower had a golden center and leaned its head toward the water, as if it were still looking for its own reflection. They named the flower Narcissus after the boy. But the story is more than just a botanical origin myth. It is a psychological warning that has echoed through the centuries, giving us the term narcissism for self-obsession. The Greeks believed that extreme self-love was a form of madness. It cuts a person off from the rest of humanity. It turns the world into a hall of mirrors. Narcissus didn't just die of a broken heart. He died because he was incapable of seeing anyone other than himself. He became his own beginning and his own end. Modern psychology uses his name to describe a personality disorder characterized by a lack of empathy and an inflated sense of self-importance. The myth became a medical reality. In some versions, Echo's grief is emphasized even more. She represents the loss of identity that happens when we try to love someone who only loves themselves. She became a hollow shell, just as Narcissus became a hollow image. Both were destroyed by a love that had no substance, no dialogue, and no future at all. The pool in the forest remained a place of warning, a reminder that beauty without character is a trap, and that looking too closely at ourselves can lead to ruin. Think about the screens we carry today, the endless selfies, the digital reflections. We live in an age where Narcissus's pool is in the palm of every human hand. We spend hours staring at our own curated images, waiting for likes and validation. We are, in many ways, a society of Narcissus, staring until we forget the real world. The myth warns us that the more we focus on our own image, the less we actually exist. Narcissus vanished because there was nothing left of him but a look. Is it possible to know yourself too much? The Greeks thought so. They believed in balance. To know yourself was good, but to adore yourself was a fatal error. Apollo's temple at Delphi famously said, "Know thyself." But Narcissus showed the dark side of that command. Knowing yourself shouldn't mean falling in love with the mask. The tragedy of Narcissus is that he was never truly happy. Even when he finally found the perfect person to love, it was a love that could never be returned. He died in agony, reaching for a surface that would always break under his touch. He was the hunter who became the prey of his own vanity and pride. Echo still wanders the mountains today. If you shout into a canyon, she will answer you. She is the reminder of the words Narcissus should have said but didn't. She is the sound of the love he wasted. She is the ghost of the empathy he lacked. And the flower by the water is the monument to his beautiful, empty life. The next time you look in a mirror, remember the boy by the pool. Remember that the image staring back is just a reflection, not the person you are inside. Don't let the beauty of the surface distract you from the depth of the soul. Otherwise, you might find yourself stuck by the water's edge, waiting for a ghost. This video was created combining ancient source research with AI-assisted visual production. For more Greek mythology revealing truths hidden in famous stories, check the description below.